Yes, good day all. Welcome to our webinar, our continued webinar series. Today we're going to be uncovering the strength of women in supply chain. Uncovering the strength of women in supply chain. Welcome each and every one of you this afternoon. So without wasting any time, I'll just give a short introduction of myself. In case you cannot identify the accent, I am from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. My name is Paul Gulston. I'm currently a senior lecturer at Westford University College. I'm happy to say that I have been here for the past 3 years and more, almost 4 years. I have been a lecturer in supply chain for about 14 years or so, and I have worked in the industry for about 18 years. My educational focus, not surprisingly, will be in supply chain management. And recently, I've done some work in education. I'm going to give a short introduction, very short introduction of our guest today, Nissrine Elqobai. Nissrine, she has a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of experience. She comes today to share her 23 years, yes, 23 years of supply chain expertise. Nissrine comes with what we know as industry experience, with a global perspective, specializing in, with success, vendor managed inventory or vendor management, cost savings, which is critical, especially in times like these, to all supply chains. She has also been able to optimize supply chain networks, managing risk, and ensuring that supply chains work seamlessly. I would now like to invite our guest speaker today, Nissrine Elqobai, without taking the wind from her sail. Welcome.
Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, the guests are saying yes, and Paul is saying yes. So all is good. Thank you very much. Thank you. You made me blushing, Paul, during the intro. Thank you very much. I'm very humbled, and I'm happy to be here today in the University of Westford. I made sure I'll be here to feel the energy of the university and your energy, Paul, in this place. So thank you for having me. I hope I'll do justice to this subject, even if we will never, of course, will not finish it, and I'll do justice to our students. I hope I can share as much as possible with you guys, everyone in the audience. And please don't feel free also to ask us questions later, or maybe to get in touch for any help in supply chain. So let me start with a quick intro to complete what Paul said. My name is Nissrine Elqobai. Let's start from the beginning. I'm originally from Morocco, born and raised in France, north of France, and Morocco. I'm from south of Morocco, Marrakesh. From a big family. We have 7 sisters and 2 brothers. And basically the 2 amazing parents, 2 amazing mom and dad, super mom and dad. And basically I studied supply chain. I'll tell you more about it later. I studied supply chain and international trade. And then I started to work as a consultant for almost 10 years. First in FMCG retail as a consultant when I was 22 years old. And after that, it was in automotive industry and then in telecom industry. And all this across the world, from Asia to US to Europe to Africa. I barely touched the ground during that 10 years, but I'm very grateful. And After that, I started to work as a manager. I said, let me look what is on the other side of the table. So I worked as a manager, supply chain manager, for a few years in one of the best companies I've ever worked for, General Mills. I take the liberty to mention them, one of top 20 company in the world. Beautiful, beautiful company in all the senses. This is really where my supply chain knowledge has been stretched and challenged. So yeah, I worked for General Mills, and I worked for Majid Al Futtaim, Carrefour also. So I used to work for Carrefour back in Europe, and I worked for MAF here also. Amazing years, developing, opening countries, opening new stores. What a feeling! What a feeling to open a new store. And lately with also Shaloub Group, amazing company, amazing local company. When you see how powerful these local companies are, you have faith in the future of this region. So I really am grateful to all these companies where I learned. I'm grateful to all my teachers. And today, since now almost 2 years, we opened, my brother and I, guess what? My brother is in supply chain too. So we have our own consulting company. We said it's time. It's time to give back. It's time to give more than what to one company. We need to share our knowledge and our passion and try to help companies to work in or use their supply chain as much as possible. So that's why today ENY Consulting exists, which is Elqobai Nissrine Youssef. My brother name is Youssef. So these are our initials, very simple. And we have our one office in Morocco, in Casablanca, and one here in Dubai. So really our mission, our purpose is to be the trusted supply chain consultant for the region. We keep saying we are from the region for the region. We are here to help primarily the companies of the region to help them use their supply chain. So that's in a nutshell where we are today. And I'll be happy to share more, of course, later. So the question was uncovering the strength of supply chain for women. So why this subject? You know, it's true. In one hand, supply chain is mostly you will see men, but everything else also. You know, everything else you will also see men. And all respect to our fellows, human being, male human beings. So it's a bit. I want to decluster that or demystify that. It's not only supply chain; it's everything else. So it's uncovering women for everything. But I would say I want to go further. When I hear we need to fight for women, we need to empower women. Women needs to empower women. I thought a lot about it, and I said, why men cannot be empowered by other men? Why we are not talking about masculinism? We talk about feminism. We don't talk about masculinism. We talk about women empowering women, but we don't talk about men empowering men. So I would start there. I would start by telling you, men and women, don't wait for anyone to empower you. Don't wait for anyone to uncover your strength. Not me even. You need to take it in your hands. And honestly, that's my message today, because I kept it uncovering women, but I'm talking to everyone. If you love supply chain, if you are a supply chain crazy like me, you will find your way. You will find the way to do things, and you will find your own path. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And don't let anyone give you the right or the green light to do it. Do it. Take it. Take it yourself. So women, wake up. You don't need me. You don't need anyone to give you that green light. Take it yourself. You need to stand up by yourself. You need to know what's your purpose. You need to know what, if supply chain is your call, or something else is your call, it's possible, and please, by all means, you need to use tools and use people like me to, I would say, um, build your knowledge or build your library. Um, uh, but you have the power. You have it already. Okay, so take it. That's my main message. And what I want us to go back a little bit into the basics for whether uncovering women power in supply chain or anything, uncovering human being power in anything. It's important to remember, and I know most of you today are probably in the 20s. I remember myself, I was a bit like foggy and lost. I wanted to do things very fast. I wanted to travel. I wanted to do so many things. And one day I woke up and I was over 40. I said, what happened? so, but this is very important to go back to basics. You need to center yourself on what you love. And for that, you have to have some basics. So one of them is, hold on a second, let me go through my slides. Yeah. Family, family, family. So I'll take just a few minutes to tell you how I uncovered my strengths in supply chain. Is family. My mom and dad, who you see on the big picture, are my pillars, my two pillars for everything. They are the one who taught me how to be open to the world. They made us travel. I was 10 years old when they made us travel. We come from a very small village. Are you still? Can you hear me? I don't know if I have an audio issue. Paul, Tim, can you hear me? Yes? Yeah?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay. Because I had
Yes.
a red bar. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, what's happening?
Go ahead. It dipped a bit, but continue. Yes.
All right, all right.
All
So
right.
yeah, so go back to basics. Family, family, family. Your roots and family is everything. Is your support. That's your constant red line. Mom and dad, brothers, sisters, cousin, uncles, aunties. Honestly, these are my energy, my boost energy in supply chain. Today, we are in our family, in the Elqobai family, we are 8 in supply chain. So something is there. Okay, I reckon something is there, something in the genes, but we are 8 already in the supply chain, and we just love it. We love it, and I'm really grateful to my mom and dad, to what they sacrificed and suffered for us to give us the right education. My elder sister, she's today a dean, and we call her the dean in the family. She's part of the education system in Morocco, and we are so proud of her. We're so proud of what she did, and I look up to her, to be honest. She's my role model. And we all have very, very specific roles, but a lot of us are in supply chain. I can see my husband and my son. This is my family, which are important because my husband is in supply chain, but he's supporting me. I support him also what he's doing. So it's very important you feel stable in your heart, that you feel stable emotionally if you want to achieve something. If you want to be empowered in something, or if you want to take power in something. That's why it's important to do that. Forgive. Also, you need to forgive. You need to move forward. Family is the only red line in your life. So cherish it and be grateful for it. So I wanted to go back a little bit and to show you once upon a time. That's me on the left, a little baby. And it seems that when I was young, when I was like 4, 5, I was making up country names. And my parents, they were telling me, where do you want to go? Oh, I want to go to this country. And I was making up, I don't remember, they are telling me, I was making up country names. And all I was talking about is traveling. And I'm so grateful. I traveled more than 45 countries today, whether it's for work or for pleasure. And since the beginning, I've been exposed to many cultures, many, many cultures, even if we are coming from a small village north of France. But I told you, my mom and dad, they are social animals. They love people. They love knowing other things. So we've been exposed in the family to many cultures, many languages from the start. You can see me on the second picture. I'm wearing a sari, Indian sari. I was 8 years old. So why? I just love Indian culture at that time, and still I do. So it's very a blessing when you have a family like that that encourage you in your in your craziness, in what you want to do. So, and as I told you, I love traveling. I love discovering cultures, and I want to emphasize. So we talked about family, and I want to emphasize that the human being is very important. You are very important. Yeah. So always go back to the what is real, your how you feel about things and how you like things, and are you cut for supply chain or are you cut for something else? It's okay. Just do what you love. Do what you feel. Do what make you smile, make you feel happy. It Anything else, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay. So it's me traveling all over the world. That was Petra in Jordan. And the little man is my son on the side because he's part of Once Upon a Time. And I discovered another side of myself when I had my son 2 years ago. Completely the new Nissrine added to the chapter. New strengths, new resilience, amazing things that I discovered. So use that strength to deploy your power. And today I have more ideas and more creativity. You can't imagine. I wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning and write stuff on the paper, on post-its. I have post-its near my bed because I keep writing ideas every time. And I know that it started by me on the left up to today, and that's just energy and what what fuels me, family, all the way, and the real values all the way. So I really want to emphasize on that, for you to be able to find your call or find your power, your supply chain power. Trust me, I just love to the core supply chain. I think supply chain, I breathe supply chain, everything. And imagine the discussions in the family. 70% of the time it talks about supply chain. So we it's if you feel it's your call, study it minimum a master. You have to have minimum a master, and I hope we'll have more education around supply chain in the region, because I can tell you what I can see today in the market. We are missing supply chain people. We are lacking supply chain people in the market. And for that, there are different actors. Yes, you can have an experience, but it's like a surgeon. You cannot come and just say, I have experience in, butchery, so I can do a surgery. You can't say that. You have to have some knowledge, basics knowledge of supply chain. And all due respect to certificates, it's okay to have a certificate, but when you study a bachelor degree or a master degree or a PhD in supply chain, it gives you a depth that a certificate cannot give you. Okay, a certificate is just 2 months, 3 months. It will give you just, overall, but you have to dig into the methodologies, and the steps, how to in each supply chain. The supply chain is very vast, is huge. That's what I love about it too. Is it's you never stop. You never stop. You never stop learning. You never stop discovering. You never stop solving problems in supply chain. There is no routing. There is no I'm bored. And if you feel you're bored, then you're in the wrong place. So please study. That's my advice. My dear girls, women, fellows, and men, okay? You have to study. You have to have at least a master to have enough depth or knowledge of supply chain basics, and then continue to learn. Today, I still read books on supply chain. I still do courses on supply chain because I want to be up to date. I want to be up to date, and there are a few things that happening. I participate to a lot of calls, a lot of webinars, because we we need to continue. We need to be ahead of time. Actually, as supply chain, we need to be ahead of what is happening. And what an example of this year, COVID-19. That's an example, huge example. And guys, I was just having a very interesting discussion this morning with the person that I admire. I cherish him and I admire him. I will not give his name now because as a respect to him, but I really admire him. And we both said this is the golden age of supply chain right now. So I again, I encourage you, you have to get your master. We need to have more Paul Gusson, we need to have more supply chain teachers because we are lacking in our region. Really, I can feel it. We are in a shortage of supply chain minds. So do your duty in terms of studying, and then find your call. You will, supply chain is very vast, and you might go to logistics, or you might go to manufacturing, or you might go to planning, whether it's demand, supply, or vendor management. You might go to information system, right, which is supply chain also. If you ask me, everything is supply chain. So you might go to assortment and planning, so many things. So um, uh, um, me personally, I love everything. I love the end-to-end supply chain. I love to look at the global picture and try to see how we can manage the whole flows of data, information, and physical flows, how to make it the less wastage possible, and the more efficient for the customer at the end. Okay, so that's definitely one of the advice, to uncover your power in supply chain knowledge. Please increase your knowledge by your study, by reading, by participating to discussion. Be open mind. Make sure that you learn, and when you want to learn, you need to know to unlearn. You need to know to say, I don't know, please tell me, teach me, show me. Okay, so that's why all the basics we talked about it earlier, family and who you are and your values, are very important, very important. So let me go here. Supply chain for life, yes. um, I'm so happy and proud of what I achieved today. And it's not easy, yeah, but because it's not easy, I love it. And I not later than last week, I had again some challenges, or some people telling me, oh, you should change this or you should change that. And you can feel when it comes from a good hearted advice or not, or when it comes from something else. So it's very important that you stay strong. It's not easy, and the more you grow, the more you're good in what you're doing, the more exposed you are. So it means, the roots we talked about, family, values, who you are, the more you grow, the more you need them. The more you become experienced and the more you become exposed to public, the more you need your roots to stay steady. And that's why I wanted to start with it. So I'll repeat, to uncover your power in supply chain, first of all, root yourself, steady yourself. and then nobody will stop you. Nobody, no matter what, especially when you know inside of you that you're doing the right thing, that you're putting all the ingredients together to succeed. So I'm not perfect, definitely. I have my flaws. Oh God, my family will tell you about them too. But we're human, and the most important is to move forward, improve. It's important to know, oh, I'm wrong, so let me correct it, move forward, learn. Yeah, no regrets, never regret anything, learn instead. And all this brought me to ENY Consulting. So we basically, ENY Consulting is who I am, and we created, my brother and I, our values, as you can see on the screen: passionate, bold, and care. We are passionate. We love what we do. I can talk to you about supply chain for days and not being tired of it. We are bold because our parents taught us not to be afraid of everything, of anything. The only two things I fear is God and deceiving my parents. So that's the only two things I fear. The rest, I don't fear anything. Nothing will stop me. And care, because we truly care about what we do. We care for the customers we have. We care for the companies we worked for. We care of everything we do. We do it with the right thinking, with the right intention, with the right time, and we put the sweat and the time to do that. I've worked in automotive industry, and I never worked less than 17, 16 hours per day. Never. For years, even weekends, nights. I wake up at 3 a.m. I go with my pajama to the manufacturer because we are missing raw material. So what's the plan? And then I have to do my production material again, and I have to running. This is when I built a plant from zero, from scratch. So definitely, I can say today, all the experience that I gathered, and again, I'm so grateful for it, for all these companies we worked for, and my family, and what they taught us from the beginning. All this today makes sense to me. It has already made sense, but today I would say I found, truly found my true calling by having my own consulting company, and I can give much more. I can give even with free mindset, because I'm working for me, for others. So these three words: passionate, bold, and care, means a lot. It means a lot. It means the whole story I just told you before. That's the result: passionate, bold, and care. So if I come back to our title in covering the strength of women in supply chain, there are things that are natural to men and natural to women, because that's the way we are built, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. I'm happy with it. That's the way we are equal, being unequal. So that's very fine. And I can tell you, all these years, I noticed that women in supply chain that I've seen, they were very, very, very good in organization, organizing the supply chain, putting together a plan. And if you look at it, women were good in that. We are also mothers, sisters, and we are naturally good in that. And most of the men that I met in supply chain, most of them, of course, there are always exceptions in men and women, but most of men were very good in the operational work, in the warehousing, in the transportation, in the freight, and this. So, but that's also because of who men are. So I would say human being is really beautiful, and nature is really beautiful. So women, here I'm talking to you, take your power in supply chain. Honestly, we need to see, and logically, chief supply chain officers all over the planet, and definitely half of them must be women. It's a must. So I I there is inhibited natural power in you to be a supply chain person if you choose supply chain. Of course, you have naturally abilities to do it. Okay, so so this is my message to you, for men and women, of course, but women, you have also naturally, you know how to plan, you know how to organize things, you know how to recruit people, because of the um, emotional side and the empathy towards people. So there are a lot of things that, from a strategical point, women are very strong. And also operationally, I met a lot of women who are very, very good in operations, but I've seen much more in strategy, in supply chain strategy. So again, uh, bet on your knowledge, build an experience and expose yourself, learn. Don't be scared. And yes, you will have challenges. Yes, you will have people who's telling you, no, that job is not for you, but, or, or you should change this in you, or you should change your title, or you should change the way you are, or don't. Don't. If you feel it's not right, then don't do it. Do what is right. Do what is feel right for you. And if you have a strong base, family, husband, or even if you're very young now, please rely on your family. Rely on your family 1,000,000%, because that's your stable base. Yeah, nothing else. And if someone is giving you good advice and good critics, I would say constructive critics, take it. Feedback is very important. Feedback is gold. So definitely in the in this era of COVID, where we think everything is destroyed and finished, I see gold. I see opportunities everywhere, everywhere. And for supply chain, guys, if you are in supply chain now, you are at the right place. You are at the right place. I want to insist on have fun. Never forget. Okay, it's very important to do what you love, but do it in a way that you don't feel it. Me, I can talk supply chain, I told you, 24/7. I wake up in the night, I wrote stuff everywhere. You have post-it around the house. You have pen and pads everywhere. I always have my pen and pads with me, because I have ideas popping out always. So there is no holiday, or there is no weekend, or there is no in me, because I, d- I don't need to, because I don't feel tired about it. Maybe physically I need to sleep sometimes, but um, uh, from I don't feel bored by supply chain at all, at all. On the contrary, I feel like I'm starting every day like fresh and new. So I want to tell you one last important point. You need to be open. And when I say open, you need to be open and vulnerable. The world is really beautiful, and you have a lot of awesome people around you or not around you that you will meet in the future or near future. So it's very important to have fun, do crazy stuff. Just to give you an example, I love supply chain, and you know how supply chain is structured, data driven, and we need plans, and we need to look ahead every time. So it's a big predictive machine we have in our brain, the best we can do at least. But in the same time, when I take holiday, I don't like to plan anything. I take the extreme. I don't like to plan anything, and I used to take. Now I have a son; it's different. But I used to take my backpack and take a ticket at any time and just fly and go. I don't book hotels. I don't do anything, and I just go. I just go and travel and discover people and meet local people, local culture, learn from them, listen, eat their food. And the more I travel, the more I'm in love with this planet and us as human beings. So please have fun, travel, don't stay where you are. My father used to tell me, someone who lived 100 years traveling is much more rich than someone who live 100 years in the same place. So go and know the world and meet people, meet different cultures, be open, different religions, doesn't matter. What is important is to learn from your fellow human beings. And wherever you go, help. When I say wherever you go, you don't need to travel downstairs, down your building, spread the love and help people. Do good, be good to one another, human fellow. So you can see me on these pictures. I'm in Indonesia, I'm in Thailand, I'm in Africa, Kenya, and do my best to give from my time, money if I can, just love, just sitting, just talking, just chatting, the same hopefully I'm doing now, the same way I'm doing now for you students and others. But the more you give, the more you receive. The more you share, the more you will get. And without even thinking about it. So really, it's very important that you have fun. Smile during the day. Just smile for no reason. Smile. Kiss your parents or call them 5 minutes per day. Yeah. And help anyone in the street, anyone in your building, anyone, your neighbor, your teacher, whoever, it doesn't matter. Someone in the airport if you're traveling. So help and spread the love. It's very, very, very important, because trust me, the feeling will just give you more energy to do what you're doing. So for me, that's my recipe to uncover my power in supply chain as a human being. First is having strong roots, having strong family values, or values, family values and values, ethical values, just values, because that's the base. And having fun, always having fun. Being too serious is not good. So you need to have fun during the day and be a bit crazy and just dance or whatever you want. Just have fun. Just have fun, and help others. Me, I really. This is where I combined what I love, which is supply chain, and I love people. I love being with people. So uh, today with ENY, I'm able to do both. I'm able to help companies um, in their supply chain and to be aware of their supply chain and how to use their supply chain. It hurts me when I see so many companies wasting money, wasting time just because they don't know. That's why I'm telling you, please increase your knowledge. We need you. This region needs you. Just because they don't know, it really hurts me. And today I want to reach every single company and help them, because it's really important. It's really important if the companies are stepping up, they know how to use their supply chain. First of all, it will create a lot of jobs, and second, this economy will feel better in our region, in Middle East and Africa. So yeah, guys, we need more people like you. I hope it made sense what I talked about, and I hope also you can understand the basics that I said. You are probably in your early 20s, young adults, but I never left. Or I never forgot what my parents told me or taught me or showed me, because actually they didn't never really told me anything. They just did, and I followed them. The way they are is what inspired me. And I was 15 like you, and I was 16 like you, and I was 20 like you, and yeah, very fulfilled by my family. So today I'm grateful, because this is what makes me Nissrine today, and a supply chain lover. And that's all I can wish you, is to be stable emotionally, to find your call, to uncover your power with your own hands, because you can, and to spread supply chain. We need to hold our hands and spread supply chain in the region. We need supply chain people. We need supply chain teaching in the region badly. So I hope we can work toward that in the next years to come. I want to ask you. I have a poll of questions, so I will finish with that. So I will start polling. I wanted to do it earlier, and but I said let me leave it at the end. Yeah, so probably you'll have maybe ideas. So here is the first one. I'll let you answer. So, which of these are important to supply chain knowledge? Study, self-taught, work experience, passion, or all of the above? How do we feel? Let's wait a few seconds more. If you don't mind, I'll take some water. Okay, let's close the poll. So I can see 82% is all of the above. Yes, you're right. It's all of the above. And basically, I've put it on purpose because, as you say, we just talked about it. You must have some knowledge, which is studying. Okay, there is no way around that. You can't. Okay. Self-taught, yes. Why not? Why not? It is very important. I see a 0%, but self-taught is very important. Maybe you will end up in supply chain, not having studied it. For example, someone, and then you will say, "Oh, I need to study it." Because you like it. So, I need to have my bachelor and then my master in supply chain, for example, after working a few years in supply chain. So why not? Self-taught, absolutely. Work experience, absolutely, is very important. Passion, for sure, 1,000,000%. So thank you for this one. Let's go to the new poll. So let me start the second one. Do you like supply chain? Because. So it's open. You can, guys, go ahead. What do you think? Because it pays well? Because it has a wide range of jobs? I'm trying to reach my tissue, which disappeared. Oh, you can't explain it. You can't explain it, why you like supply chain. So let me close the poll. So we have here, it has the 83%, it has a wide range of jobs. It's true. When you are passionate like in supply chain like me, I see supply chain everywhere. So for me, it goes all across the company. And basically, I see a supply chain person in each department, in sales, in marketing, e-commerce. We are all across, because we are here to manage the physical flow and the informational flow to deliver a customer, in short. Yeah. So we are everywhere. We cannot work in silos. Supply chain, we cannot work in silos. So that's why it's beautiful. And the more we go, some jobs didn't exist 10 years ago in supply chain. It didn't exist 20 years ago. And the more we go, the more we see new jobs in supply chain, because it's so wide, it's so extended, that really, it's you can, if you want to be an end-to-end supply chain person, fine. If you want to specialize yourself, well, you have a lot of choice, a lot of choice. It's all depend on what you like, and then you can fit yourself somewhere. Thank you guys for this one. Let's go. I still have two questions. Okay. These one are open questions. Okay. So what is your supply chain definition? Type your answer in the chat box. Yeah. Just type words. It doesn't need to be a sentence. What's your definition of supply chain? I'll give you a few more seconds because you have to write it. So okay. So we have 88%. Okay, so they will write, will I look at it? And 30%, I'm not sure, which is okay. It's fine. It's good to know that you don't know. That's very, very, very honorable. Okay, so that's okay. No problem. I'll share with you guys later. Let me close this one. We'll come back to it later. And the last one, I've given you, I think, the answer, but for the fun of it, okay? Let's do it. So this last polling is, do you feel, because you probably know more than me, you are already like a student or in the academic world, so do you feel there is enough choices in terms of bachelor degree, master's degree, PhDs in UAE, GCC, of course, for supply chain? Do you feel you have enough choices? When, for example, you were looking or you are looking for a master in supply chain, do you have 20 options or do you have 5 options in the region? And how are these 5 options? How are they? How are the courses? How juicy are they? Okay, I'll close the poll. So we have a 67% yes. Okay, good. I like the positivity. And the rest is saying no. I feel we don't have enough. I feel we need more. I feel, as I told you, we need more people like Paul to have more choices in terms of supply chain. I'm not talking again about certificates. I'm talking about academics, about bachelor degree and master degree. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here today. I'm really honored and just blessed to be here to help in any way by sharing my story or giving you my opinion, my modest opinion on how to uncover your supply chain power. And thank you very much again for today. I hope we'll talk again very soon. And Paul?
Yes, don't go anywhere.
Here.
All right. Yes, I did participate in the polls, but I have
Thank
a
you.
couple of questions, but I want to pick up a question from Nihal.
Yeah.
And I think I gave the same answer as Nihal. Nihal was asking if what if passion is the only key ingredient to pursue supply chain management? So I myself gave that answer. Right. So Nihal was asking about passion. So I don't
Yes.
know if you could answer for him.
Yes,
Or,
of
yeah.
course. I mean, definitely it's the right fuel, but it can't be the only one. You need
Mm,
knowledge, right? You need knowledge. As I told you, for example, today, I use all the knowledge that I acquired during my bachelor degree, during my master degree in Paris, and then I did my first year of PhD in supply chain and information system in the research center, the only research center of supply chain in France. And I promise you, I probably will not be here today talking if I didn't have that education. So uh, passion is very important, but if I put you in the real world, in front of a problem, it will not be sufficient. You need to know, you need to feed yourself with knowledge. So get the right master. Below a master is not acceptable. Sorry, that's how tough I am with my own family. My own nephew and nieces, I told them below a master degree in supply chain, not acceptable. So you need to increase your knowledge, read, also participate to discussions, and this will build your technical side, and then your passion will ignite that.
All right, thank you. I'm inviting the audience as well. Please post your questions. While you're doing that, I have one. So we'll share. I'll share with the audience in asking a few questions. You know, as a woman, bringing the gender perspective back into it. Um, okay, in my years of supply chain, I've seen just a few women in the field. But if you do see if I did ever see a woman in the field of supply chain, many a times they were in the top tier, right? They held very the top positions. But how difficult, if you can give your experience, was it to negotiate among men? Being the only woman in the room negotiating among men, how was that?
Yes, Paul. Thank you for that question. Actually, almost all my life, when I had held meeting, etc., you have in the table. I probably was the only woman around the table. Let me tell you a short story. I was very young yet. Yeah, I was very young. I was 24. Thank God I finished my study very fast. Don't know how I did. And I started to work as a consultant. And I had a meeting with a very huge cosmetic company in Europe. Okay. I will not tell the name, but you can have some guesses. And I was there to implement vendor management inventory. Okay. The principles of it, help their team, train them, implement the system. So huge project. And I was 24. Oh my God, when I remember it. And around the table, you had 50-ish, the CIO, the sales director. They were at least all of them 35, 40. Okay. So way older than me. And at the beginning, the CIO stand up and said, "You are the one," and I'm the only woman and young on top of that. "You are the one who will tell us how to implement vendor management inventory with the EDI and also many other techniques." I said, "Well, let me do it. And if you're not happy, I will hand over the project to a colleague of mine." And I was thinking of one of my older colleague, and he's a man. And by the end of the meeting, it was 2 hours. He came to me. I was shaking. You can't imagine the pressure. I was red the whole time of the meeting, and it was really, really strong pressure. He came by the end of the meeting and he told me, shook my hand. I was shocked, really shocked. After that, I went out and cried. But he told me, I'll be proud if I work with you on this project. So I think, maybe Nihal, this is where you're right. Passion will show. Your passion, your love for what you're doing, doesn't matter how old you are, it will show. Yeah. When you grow or when you mature, it's more structured. You can more feel it and work with it. But when you're young, it's raw, like I was. It's really raw. It shows. So it's not easy to show up as young and woman. And sometimes, in some countries also colored women. It adds also to the difficulty, but it doesn't matter because I know I'm good in what I'm doing. I know I love what I'm doing. So no way. I will not let anyone dictate what I will not and or do or not do. So I think it's very important when you enter, just be yourself, and please do the right thing always. Don't play into games. Don't don't be impressed by someone else's ego. Be impressed by the right thing and do the right thing always. Always choose the right thing. You can't fail. You cannot fail. It's very difficult. I've got a lot of rejections by implementing things all over the years. But when they see it works, and I stand there and it's hard and I work hard and I don't let go because I believe in it, then they see it works, then they come and they say thank you. So yes, there are a lot of men, but because this is what it is in centuries, so it's like that. But nobody will stop you as a woman to do it. You just need to do it. And I just want to repeat one more time, women were in trade and in businesses since the old age, okay, thousands of years ago. It will not stop. It's just we don't need anyone to give us anything. Just take it, do it, and take it. Do it yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. Nissrine, there's a question from guest 55. Well, and guest six. There's a question from guest 55 and guest 626. Two unrelated questions. Let me go with guest 626. Um, guest 626 wants to know how you managed your workload, working for 13 hours and having a family life, quality family life. And guest 55 is asking about some relevant books you may
Yeah, I
want
have
to
that one.
recommend for supply chain. So how you balance your life and some literature you can recommend.
Okay, so you know, um, how I balance my life. Um, Today, I would say, oh, I'm the same actually, because I love what I do. It's very difficult, to split it. I don't consider it as a burden. It's part of me. So the same way I would love to exercise, or I make sure I spend time with my son. For example, today I made sure I talk to my mom and dad every single day. I spend time sharing ideas, and with my husband, of course. Sometimes we don't have time, but that's okay. It's fine. It's for the right thing. Of course, I will not let everything and leave, because then it's against what I just told you. Family is important. So always go back to that. When I used to work in the automotive industry, I was young and I was by myself. So I was traveling nonstop. I told you, for more than 10 years, I didn't touch the ground. I was just from one airport to another, one airport to another. And I loved it. I just loved it. And my mom and dad, they were so happy for me. They were really, really happy. And whenever I could, I brought them to that country. So if your parents are happy for you and you feel good and you feel happy, then it's not a workload anymore. Yeah, from the moment you feel it's heavy and work and this, I mean, beside the physical tiredness, which is okay, but if you feel happy, then that's not a workload. It's okay. And of course, once you have things that happening into your life, you get married, then you have the responsibility to manage it, right? So you can't say, I'm working, bye wife, bye children, or bye husband, I'll see you in 2 weeks or whatever. You can't say that, because your balance, your roots are your family. Yeah. So this is your energy. So you can. It just depend where you are in your life. We can talk about it, but depend where you are in your life now. Yes, of course you can, as long as you're happy. Trust me, you'll find very, very well. About the books, oh my god, I read a lot of things, a lot of things. Um I'm a
But
Libra.
more like supply chain, more like supply chain
Absolutely.
books.
But a lot of things have an impact. If your energy is good, if your brain is okay, if your connections are enlightened and sparkling, you will have a good supply chain result. So usually what I do, I try to see awkward links. So I will not only read supply chain books, but I will read something about spirituality or absolutely Napoleon Hill. It's at home. Think and grow rich. Absolutely. I will read The Secret. I will read so many other books because this it will feed my emotional part, which is strong. Yeah, we are human beings. We're not machines. And the technical books will fill my rational mind. So these two are very important to balance. Yeah, you need to uh, get your knowledge up on both sides. Otherwise, one side will crash and the result will not be good. So, in terms of books, let me give you an example. One that I buy every single year since 22 years. Yeah, because there is a new version every year. It's called Exporter. It's from France, obviously. It's from France, and basically it has every year updates of Incoterms, of international trade rules and techniques. I love that book. I just love it. I feel like I'm still in master or bachelor degree every time I receive it. Thank you, Youssef, for taking care of that for me. But Exporter is one of the books that I take every year. And of course, if I can advise you one, which is a very old book, but it's called The Aim. I'll find the name of the writer. I forgot, but these were one of the lessons, the first lessons of supply chain I had when I was studying. It's about automotive industry, and they explain all the bullwhip effect and all the MRPs and this and this and that. Very, very good book. So it can be technical, but it can be stories also. And stories I love because you really feel it and you feel engaged in it. So that's from the books. Read supply chain, but read anything else. Go read anything else to nurture your emotional part, your emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Excellent. Um, Someone wants to know how many years of experience you would have had. Let me. What was that person's name? Uh, I missed it, but someone wants to know the amount of years accumulated, gaining all these expertise.
Oh,
Oh,
as in
oh,
working?
it's Mohammed Hamina. Yes. How many years I need? No, actually, it's how
No,
many years
a
they
minimum.
need to be experts in supply chain. Yes, yes. I just got it correct.
Okay. Uh, okay. I'm going to tell you something which is a bit mathematical. Yeah. But please, the end of it, it depends on you. Can you be a manager? Are you a manager? Are you a leader? And it's okay not to be. Some people are very good to work technically in the back office all their life and they are super happy with it. And some people are naturally managers and leaders. Yeah. Not every manager is a manager. Not every manager is a leader. Okay. So how many
True.
years of minimum work experience do you think an employee must have to do a manager? I would say when you have a master degree, yeah, when you have a master degree, for me, I would engage you already in, like, after 2 years of experience, you'll be a manager, because normally you have enough knowledge. You just need to practice a little bit in the company. I need to, probably poke you here and there and test you, and you don't need much after your master degree. Once you have your master degree, probably 2 to 3 years maximum to get a managerial position. Again, this is true only if you are built for it. I hope I answered.
All right. There's a question. Nissrine, I can capture the questions for you, right?
Yes.
Nihal is asking about some study tips. What advice would you give to study effectively throughout your course and to achieve high or higher results?
Yeah, oh la la, you throw me so far back, but it's beautiful. Oh, okay. I used to do a lot of sport. So I was a gymnast. My father put me in gymnastics when I was 5 years old. And I stayed in gymnastics up to I was 19. So I did gymnastics for a long time. I did athleticism and then I did anything, any sport. I end up with probably at least 15 hours of sport per week. So I really love sports. And it helped me a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot to renew your energy, having a fit body. And of course, it goes with eating well, but then it goes without saying, you know. So I would say in my case, sports and yeah, sports kept me very, very energetic. Number one. Number two, this is weird, but I did it a lot. I used to record myself. Yeah. On tape recorder at that time, I used to record myself reading whether my essay or my courses. Yeah. And at night, I had my Walkman and I'll put them on. And after a few days, I know by heart I have high scores because my subconscious is working at night. So I'm sleeping, but I'm recording. So this, I used it a lot. And mind you, I was really young, but I told you I love to learn from everyone. And someone told me about that. And I said, I am doing it. I am doing it. I'm trying it. And this is how I reach a lot of very high scores.
Oh, yes. I had a Walkman myself. Yeah, they would know about that, I doubt.
Yeah, one of those.
Yes. So I just have two. We'll maybe ask two or three questions, and then we
Please,
can wrap
please,
up.
I'm
I
loving it. Yeah.
I have one question here. I remember you saying that we are not robots,
Yeah.
right? So I had a question planned before that. I was thinking with artificial intelligence, now occupying our space as supply chain professionals. Um, how can we still encourage young women, particularly, to get into the field of supply chain?
Um, because number one, it's needed. This is SOS call. Honestly, this is an SOS call. So please, all women out in supply chain, continue, study, stay motivated because we need you. We need you. We need you. Today, I'm myself recruiting a lot of people in supply chain and I'm struggling. I'm struggling. So that's number one reason we need you. Okay. Um, it's very interesting. I was talking about this exactly this morning, Paul. I'm writing an article, a few lines only. You know what's the name? Artificial intelligence versus human intelligence.
Nice.
Yes, we need technology. Absolutely. There is no way around that. We must have technology. We will work with technology. But if you don't have the right human being, the right stable, emotionally stable, technically strong human being behind it, this won't go well. Okay.
Yes.
And here, let me give my spiritual touch here. As a human being, we are perfect. That's my thinking. We are perfect. There is nothing else that can top us. As a machine or artificial intelligence, we created them. So they are not perfect. They can't be perfect. They can't be more than us. Yeah. We were created by God. We are perfect. Trust me. We can't get rid of people. We can't get rid of human being. That's my strong feeling. And women definitely, definitely, definitely. I'm myself. I told you earlier, we are seven for a reason. I told you we are seven girls in the family and two boys. So yeah, we are strong women in the family, and my father and my mother, they are very proud of us. So and we don't take no for an answer, and we don't take a challenge for a failure. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Excellent, excellent. Nihal is saying he got all medals except gold. Yes, yes, indeed. So All right. I think now is a good time to maybe wrap up. I think the panel, I don't think, I'm not seeing any new questions. All right. So that was my last question. So I can take this opportunity to thank you, Nissrine,
Thank
for
you.
your time. Thank you very much for your time coming out here on a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. At this time of the day, you could have been resting at this time of the day, you know.
No, not with a baby of 20 months. Trust me, I'm running
Ah,
around.
yes, yes,
No,
yes.
I wake up very early and then I stay with him or I work.
Oh,
So I'm very happy and I'm honored, Paul. Thank you so much. And please use me as a resource for the students. I'm happy to do more and as many times as you want. Bear with me with my talking because I talk a lot about when you poke me on supply chain, I can't stop myself. But
it's fine.
I'm very honored and pleased to be here today and I hope I can help and do more.
Of course, of course. Thank you, Raya, for your technical support. Always doing a good job.
Yes,
And
thank you, Roya.
my students or our students, thanks for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
I think we offline now. Okay. Yeah. So we can.